I got a freaking banger episode today.
Oh, it's your episode?
Okay.
Really?
What?
Really?
I thought it was Christian's episode.
It's your episode.
Well, I ain't got nothing for you.
Well, that's good because I got a banger
It's
episode
just a vibes
today.
episode. Oh, never mind. Bad vibes episode.
I'm Josh, and I'm the new shirt one.
I'm Rick, and my arm still hurts.
And I'm Christian. And I'm the slutty one.
You also have a new shirt on.
I'm the slutty one. I already wore it on something else.
Oh,
I
well.
wear it on the stream.
And we are the
Judgies.
Judgies. Back in new shirter than ever. All of us, new shirts debuted on the pod.
Okay.
Never before seen on the pod
That's
shirts.
true. That's true.
All right.
Thoughts on that?
That's fair.
Audio listeners are going crazy for this.
Well, I'm wearing, what did we call it?
Wary Pinkle?
I'm wearing Wary Pinkle. Just think of like the opposite of periwinkle.
Yeah.
That's true. And I'm wearing a little red and white striped knitted crop top.
Little slut.
A little slutty.
It's really cute.
And I have a shirt with Hassan's dog on it.
What's the dog's name?
Kaya.
Cute.
Yeah. She's like 130 pounds.
Hmm.
Does that make you feel different?
No, I
Good.
still think it's cute.
Here's
she
what we
doesn't
got
look that big on camera.
on the docket.
Bark, bark.
We have potentially, the first time ever, a story from two different POVs.
Oh.
It's not the first time ever, I don't think. But it's kind of cool.
No, I just did that on my episode.
Did you?
Yeah. I found my boyfriend posted about me on Reddit.
Oh. Well,
Damn.
really. I mean,
it sucks that it happened
so
a week
recently.
Literally
ago.
last week.
well, 2 weeks ago for me. I already listened to next week's episode.
Hmm.
So, you know what? I won't read either of them. How about that?
I mean, you can still do it. I just wouldn't say
Well,
that
good, because it's a story about a couple who almost divorces because they asked each other to do yard work.
Ooh.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's just
And they said, hey, this yard ain't working.
Okay.
They call their relationship a yard. We have a story about a person training a boyfriend like a dog.
okay.
I think I got that one sent to me too.
I went deep in the annals to find some stories from Sal. One of them being about someone eating some period sock rice.
Oh my God. What does that even mean? Well,
And
I
then-
know what that means.
Yeah, I know what it means.
And then a dad who punished his 8-year-old for losing a coat.
Well,
Thoughts
as
on
a dad
that?
should.
We
That's
got,
his fatherly duty.
we got
Divorce.
we got a listener with honestly an insane story, if I can be honest about it,
Okay.
about them texting a 21-year-old and they were 16.
Okay.
Ugh.
And then I think I
appreciate
have
your candor, Josh.
the best circle jerk I've ever written. Yeah, I told you I have a banger episode.
I'm
All right.
fucking.
And I'm putting the expectations really high. That way, when it's like a 6 out of 10 episode, people are still disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give any credit to our current administration, but like, they also kind of just do the same thing, and it's kind of working really good for them.
You just kind of dangle some fucking cheese.
You just
and
keep
carrots.
saying, no, we're really good, and then
Yeah.
people are like, I don't know.
I keep saying it.
I guess they must be really good. Everybody's saying they're really good.
Mm-mm.
Why does it lie? You know?
Yeah.
Huh.
You know the Joe Rogan quote, why does it lie?
Like a rug?
No, he was reading an article headline to be
Oh,
transphobic or something. And then someone, I think this producer Jamie said, like, actually, it says this is the truth. And he's like, why does it lie?
oh, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, good guy. I hear there's nothing bad ever that's come out about Joe Rogan ever.
Interesting.
Would you have Joe Rogan on the podcast, Erica?
Sure. Think of the numbies we'd get.
And that's really what we care about on this show.
That's
Yeah.
Who is someone you wouldn't have on your podcast that's surprising? Like for me, it would be like, I don't think I would have on Caleb Heron
you fucker. That's
because
exactly
I wanted to steal Christian's thunder, but you can explain.
because I could never match up to him. He'd be so funny, and then all of our other episodes would be dog shit from
Yeah.
there on.
Yeah. And I don't think I could ever have on like I don't know, Selena Gomez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I
Were you
just don't
drooling the whole time?
a little bit, but also she was like one of my first celebrity crushes, if I can be
Okay.
open and
That's
honest and
fair.
candid. But
That's
also
really brave of you.
she's a genre of celebrity that almost feels like they aren't real people. Does that make sense? Like they
Okay.
almost feel like Like it's the Hollywood buzz about them.
Yeah.
Like similarly, maybe like a Brad Pitt, where you're just like, well, you move different, right? Like, you're like almost ethereal, but also like robotic at the same time. Does this make sense? Does any of this make sense?
Like, I mean, yes, especially what you're saying about Brad Pitt. Absolutely. But I don't feel like Selena's quite like that.
I guess to describe
Selena
it
to me is more normal.
Okay. To describe it, I would say it's almost like what politicians have, but inverse. Where it's like sometimes you look at a politician, like I don't know, who's like a really charismatic politician.
Mitch McConnell.
Sure. You think about Mitch McConnell and you're just like, you're not a real person and it's bad.
Yeah.
And then I think you're not a real person and it's good about some celebrities.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I didn't mean it as a negative.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's an uncanny valley to them.
Yes, that's a better way to put it. Yeah, where it's just like, yeah. What about you?
I don't know. That's a tough question because I feel like we could have anybody on and I'd be like, okay.
Dean Winchester.
Do you mean Jensen?
No, he's in character.
He's in character.
He would be a bad
and it's really
podcast
awkward.
guest.
You're like, so Jensen, he's like, Dean. And he's really angry about it.
If he wants, I will call him anything he wants to be called.
You're going to RP with JA?
Absolutely.
While you JO next to your HB?
Listen. My husband's boyfriend? Is that what HB is?
No.
I was just husband, but sure.
Oh.
Hubby buddy?
We do call each other. You've called me that before.
A hubby buddy?
Yeah.
I would rather die.
Okay.
But yeah, we could have anybody on and I'd be like,
Really?
okay.
What about Sarah Palin?
I would love to give her some opinions.
What about
who's the freak ex-politician that's doing the circuits right now?
the guy who just got arrested
for
just like lying?
What's his name? He was like a cross-dresser or something for a while. He's lied about every single act he's ever
what
had.
the fuck is his name? He
It's
just got
crazy.
arrested.
He just got arrested.
Yeah, for like, he just got like convicted for like 7 years or something.
When you say cross-dressing, do you mean like derogatory? Like he's doing it derogatorily?
Dude, I can't remember. He's very famous. He's a liar. He's a big liar. He's on Z-Way.
He's like super transphobic and like anti-drag, and
But
then
he's-
in the past he's like done drag.
Okay.
So-
But like to be a piece of shit about it.
I don't know.
Like in the attempts to make fun of them.
What the fuck is
I
his
don't
name?
remember. What is his name?
Z-Way politician.
That's a good way. I was
Like, you know how in whatever movie that Mark Wahlberg's
George
in,
Santos.
George Santos.
that he takes like 10 years of ballet or whatever to make fun of people that do ballet.
Nope.
You don't know what I'm
That's
talking
someone I wouldn't have on the podcast though.
You recognize that guy?
about? No.
Okay. He probably would be willing to come on the podcast.
We
And-
launder his reputation.
And I don't know if I could handle it.
Okay.
I might spontaneously combust.
So he did ballet just to like make fun of people
in
who
a
do ballet?
movie. Like
Okay.
that's one of his lines. I'll look it
And
up.
then he punched an Asian person.
No, that was in real life.
Clint Eastwood?
No, Mark Wahlberg. Anywho,
He could have stopped 9/11. You know that?
if he was there, he would have stopped it. Let's get on to the freaking stories. We don't just talk about politicians on this podcast. We also podcast on this podcast. And what that entails is us going online and finding silly little stories.
Mark Wahlberg did the ballet stuff in The Other Guys.
The other guys, really? I would have never been able to tell you that.
I would have never suspected you to see that movie.
This is
have, yeah.
from r/Ask Men Advice.
Ooh.
Whoop.
Why the fuck would we do that?
Why ask a man for advice?
Correct.
My wife wants a divorce after I asked her to help me in the yard. What should I do?
I guess just go along with it. You probably goofed up pretty bad, bud.
It seems like what you don't like reaping what you sowed.
Usually, if it's the woman asking for the divorce, and this has been stewing. If it's the man asking for the divorce, it's like, she got cancer. I got to get out of here.
Oh my God.
My wife is mostly great. Everyone likes her. She comes across very chill, polite, etc. glowing review of your wife.
Yeah.
If I think that if you described me as mostly great, I would divorce you.
Yeah.
Like, that's so fucking rude.
The rest is really good though.
Not really.
Mostly great, 2/3. It's like 2/3 great, and then like 1/6 good, and then you got like another 2/6 that's just like, or 1/6 that's just like fine. You know what I mean?
Divorce.
And then like 0.1% evil. You know what I mean?
Are you describing me?
In a hypothetical, I'm Christian describing you. In a means that would result in divorce.
You're lucky that I didn't take an edible because I'd be sobbing right now.
My wife has never been proactive. She waits until the last minute to do things. If I ask her to clean, she rolls her eyes. Exactly like that. Thank you, Erica. She now lost her job.
I didn't lose my job. I quit my job.
And has been a stay-at-home mom. She's also pregnant with our third. She says she is always drained and has no energy, which I understand. She does the dishes and feeds the kids, but orders a lot of takeout. She cooks about 1 meal per day and usually orders takeout almost every day, maybe 4 times a week.
Okay.
This afternoon, I asked her to plant some seeds. I got vegetable seeds in the garden with our kids. She said no. I told her calmly that it would be a good activity. She again said she is drained and that she won't do that.
If it's a good activity, then you can fucking do it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's a womanly activity.
Mm.
I asked her again, noting that we need to do the planting now because of the season. She then started screaming and saying that she wants a divorce because we are not on the same page. She is tired and can't deal with it. She has probably done this over 100 times over the course of our relationship.
Threatened divorce?
That's a healthy. No, that's a healthy relationship.
No.
If I ask her to do things around the house, she blows up and then demands a divorce. Before we were married, she would just say she was leaving me. She has never left. I won't let her. I put in that last sentence.
Oh,
Thank God.
Josh, you can't ad lib something like that.
That's the vibe, so.
That is the vibes.
I just don't know what to do in this situation. When I ask her to do stuff that is reasonable, she has a blow up and causes so much drama that I hesitate on asking her to do things ever. But the laundry has been piled up for over a month. Not to mention, I just feel like in general, she doesn't do much. No hobbies, friends.
Then you fucking do it. Then you do it.
No hobbies, friends, etc. A lot of Instagram online shopping. She does load the dishwasher every day and make sure our kids are fed.
Crazy.
She puts me in between a rock and a hard place. It's also tough because I now pay for everything and work full time. Today she said she wants a divorce again and will leave me with the kids, and then I will have to pay for childcare too. Just looking for advice.
Become a better husband and
Literally.
father.
Your wife is clearly going through it. First of all,
3 kids is a lot. Well,
No,
I
no.
guess it's 2 and 1 on the way.
and she's pregnant.
Yeah,
So 2 kids
a lot.
is a lot. 1 kid
One
is
kid,
a lot.
yeah.
Okay. And the fact that she's doing all of that while also pregnant.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant, I was exhausted the whole fucking time.
I was exhausted for you.
Yep.
Shut up, Joshua.
I was exhausted for him being exhausted for you.
Shut the fuck up, Christian. And the fact that this bogus ass dude is trying to say that she has no right to freak out on him when she's already doing the best that. Listen, you know what? Let me hear her point of view.
Bogus ass dude. Is that what bad stands for? I kind of like that. You're a bad dude. Wait, no. You are a bogus ass dude.
That man's bad.
Is he bad or is he a bad?
Oh shit! You do have to say bad.
A bad. R/relationship
that.
advice. This is the wife's point of view. Married blah 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 blah. I just don't like when they put numbers in the title.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married to my husband with 2 toddlers, and we need advice on. I'm trying to punch up.
That's okay.
Turns
Blake,
out I punched my face.
Blake, you got this.
I'm married with 2 toddlers, and I need advice on my husband who thinks that I don't contribute equally.
Okay. Yeah, this is where I thought this was going.
I, 32 female, have been married to my husband, 34 male, for about 5 years, and we've been together for over 9. We have 2 young toddlers, and I'm currently pregnant with number 3. The other day, I came home after taking the kids to the park, and he asked me if I wasn't doing anything in the afternoon if I could plant some seeds in the backyard. I responded with a simple no, and he kept asking a few times and also basically pointing out that I am lazy and never do anything around the house. And that's when I blew up and said that I wanted a divorce in front of the kids. Again, I'm pregnant, entering second trimester, and I am tired all the time. One might say exhausted.
I'd be that one.
And my husband is exhausted because his friend sees how exhausted I am, and that exhausts him. And so he says he's exhausted for him, feeling exhausted for me.
Oh, you were ad-libbing. I was like, there's no fucking way.
I feel like he doesn't understand how time-consuming it is to take care of young kids while also being pregnant. I also recently lost my job due to the administration, so I'm currently on unemployment benefits, and we pulled the kids out of daycare, so I'm now a stay-at-home mom for the time being. Which, depending on your job, could be a net neutral gain, whatever, on your income, household income. He claims that I am not proactive about things and tends to focus on negative things that annoy him, like the laundry sitting out because I haven't had time to fold clothes, or complaining if I buy takeout a few times a week when I'm at my wit's end, or if I'm on social media when I just need a break.
Yeah.
I constantly clean and cook throughout the day, plus try to be present and engage with the kids. He has the audacity to think I do nothing all day and that childcare does not equate to his full-time job. To him, childcare should be easy. Mind you, he also posted something and received some comments about how I could have undiagnosed ADHD because I felt tired and fatigued all the time. Like, what? I'm pregnant. But of course, it's in an Ask Men forum.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm tired because we don't have additional childcare support to help us. He makes $170,000 a year, and let's just say he won't entertain paying for additional childcare support. He is more frugal leaning. Which, depending on where you live, $170K could be a lot. If you made $170K here,
that's a lot.
You're living pretty well.
Yeah.
If you're living in San Francisco, that's probably like childcare is very expensive.
Childcare is very expensive.
The other thing is that he says he pays for everything, but financially, nothing has drastically changed. As in, when I had a job, I covered childcare costs and groceries / household items / kids items, and he covered the mortgage and utilities. The other real changes that occurred to me so far are that he may pay more when we're eating out now, but I'm still paying for groceries and household / kids supplies with my own money. And now we're all on his health insurance.
I always think it's weird when married couples split money.
Yeah.
Really?
This is a partnership.
Yeah. What if one of you is really bad with cash?
There's definitely situations where you need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And if it works for you, then it works for you. But like when I talked about quitting my job, we talked at length about the financial aspect of it.
Ew. Yeah. Communication.
Oh yeah, disgusting, I know. But it's he distracted me. I lost my train of thought, Joshua.
You guys talked a lot about your financial situation when you quit your job.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, because you think having two separate accounts is weird.
We had two separate accounts, I think, up until I quit my job, didn't we?
Yeah, I guess. Fuck, we're the
oh
no,
Glass
I'm a
house.
hypocrite. But here, and I guess I don't know. I guess maybe I spoke too soon. The fact that it's like I only pay for these things, you only pay for these things, I think that's weird. I think have a joint account, and then you guys can pool a certain amount in a joint account, and then you can have your money. I think it's weird to I do this and you do that. I guess maybe that's how you did it before getting married, and you just kept the same system. But.
You're just advocating for a Venmo couple and less steps.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't know. He doesn't have a Venmo.
They don't need to know anything about me.
Aurora and I still have separate accounts.
I think that's normal.
Yeah. We're not married.
Yeah, I feel like
it'd be weird if we did.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Not necessarily.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Listen, like I said, if it works for you, then it works for you, but you have to fucking communicate about it.
Yeah.
You have to communicate about it. Can we go back to when she said that, childcare is easy, should be easy?
He said that, yeah.
She's saying that that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he should spend a weekend alone taking care of his kids.
Literally. If it's so fucking easy, then you do it. Then you do it.
With a 20-pound ball strapped
to his gut. I don't even think he needs that.
Going into her second trimester, so she doesn't have like maybe 5 extra pounds.
Okay. Big baby, though.
Big.
Historically,
Baby.
big baby. 4 times bigger than normal.
They're doing a documentary on her.
Okay.
That's where she's getting all of her money from.
Good for her. I hope she's keeping it away from him.
Well, let's just also, if we're already going back, let's go back a little bit further.
Yeah.
She was concerned about saying divorce in front of her kids, but they're toddlers. Do we think that the toddlers have a concept of what divorce is and that it's going to drastically alter their life?
Well, if she threatens it so much, it was actually their first word.
Oh, shit. Divorce.
Dad, go. Let's finish out some blurbs we got here. Previously, we were all on my health insurance plan. I feel like he's also partially frustrated because he wishes he could save more to try and get more rental properties for himself. He's a fucking landlord.
I could have
He's
told
a
you that.
fucking real estate developer. A fucking sack of shit. He also claims that I've always been a lazy person even before we were married. I feel like this is just one of those situations where if I don't meet his standards about how a partner should be, I'm going to be just seen in a negative light. He also thinks I threatened divorce to manipulate him because I haven't followed through in the past when I mention it. I know that it's not something I should just throw around and we just usually make up, but in the back of my head, I feel like we will never be on the same page. And now it's just more difficult with kids, especially in this economy. Seeking advice on what could be the best path forward?
Divorce.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a very toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you like your husband. And I don't think your husband likes you unless you're checking all the boxes for him.
I think he likes having a breeder. I don't think he enjoys her as a human. I think he sees her as an object.
Yeah.
I think he does not think very highly of women, if I may harbor a guess.
Mm-hmm.
And motherhood. He has an idealistic view of motherhood that is wrong.
Hey, if his
And
mom could do
unrealistic.
it, why the heck can't his wife do it?
Yeah. That was sent in by CJ, longtime listener, second time submitter, also a geriatric millennial that uses emojis and will never stop crying laughing emoji.
I appreciate it.
I was intrigued by this husband and wife both posting about each other on different subs. Who will you side with? Devil emoji, devil emoji. That's it. Thanks, CJ. Anything else?
Who
It sucks
do
at
you
the-
side with, Joshua?
The kids.
Sucks at the south of the fella on this one.
Well, he asked men for advice, and I will give him advice, which is to kill himself.
Oh my God.
In Minecraft. Ego death wise. Ego
Ego
death?
death.
Kill his ego self. Do some shrooms in the fucking forest.
Do a lot of shrooms, lose yourself, brother. Become one with the universe and see how bad of a person you are.
Yeah, it really sucks. Really fucking sucks when and she highlights it, right? Like, kids complicate things and then money complicates things, especially when we're heading into a probable recession.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That just sucks. It sucks that
The
people
prices
get
are
trapped
down. I
like
don't know what
that.
you're talking about.
Eggs went down 78%. I think he says 780%. I don't remember the order I put him in, but here we go. r/am I the asshole with an H on the end. Am I the asshole for training a guy like a dog?
No.
It depends on what kind of dog.
Don't treat me like a chihuahua.
Barely trained.
Then don't act like a chihuahua.
I, 23 female, have recently started seeing this guy, 26 male. He's super pretty, but he's kind of emotionally unavailable, and he's alluded to an unstable/unhealthy childhood.
Yeah, it's giving chihuahua.
Golden retriever, really?
Yeah.
One of
Oh,
the
you don't
two.
think chihuahuas are pretty?
I do. I just think chihuahuas are very emotionally stable.
They're literally always shaking. They're always on edge.
Physically unstable, emotionally a rock.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That was pretty fucked up of me. Erica's mad that I talked about chihuahuas like that.
No, that was accurate. But it made me think of my old coworker, Mandy. She had a chihuahua.
And
she had chihuahua energy.
Mandy did? Or the
Yeah.
She was
chihuahua?
very emotionally unstable. So
Correct.
Huh.
Really? Did she shake a lot?
She did.
What the fuck? That's like nominative determinism, but for dogs.
Literally.
For context, I also work with socializing abused and neglected dogs at a local shelter, and I think how much time I spent with the dogs is impacting the way I interact with people. We were on a date, and I started subconsciously making mental notes about him like the notes I'd made about a dog. For example, I noticed when we went out to dinner, he ate really quickly and was very anti-sharing, resource guarding. But when I offered to pay and suggested dessert, it seemed to make him really happy and a little calmer. So he's food motivated. He's really particular about his car, territorial/crate aggression. He likes when I pick where we go / what we do, so he's eager to please. So I started using the tactics I'd use on a dog with similar problems. Recently, a friend of mine pointed out that it's weird that I keep peanut M&Ms on me with the specific purpose of offering the guy one when I see him and offering them again whenever I can tell he's feeling vulnerable. She said that I'm being an asshole because he's a person, not a dog, so I shouldn't be training him like one. I don't think that's fair. I'm not trying to control him or anything. I just want him to feel comfortable with me the same way I need the animals I'm helping to feel comfortable with me. Humans and animals aren't that different after all. We just want to feel safe and cared for. The guy hasn't noticed yet as far as I can tell. The problem is my technique is yielding really positive results. So should I stop?
It does feel manipulative.
It feels dehumanizing.
Yeah.
The way you explained it is a little dehumanizing.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you're seeing results, you can't argue with results.
Well, and like, okay. No, it's pretty bad. I was trying to but would it be so bad to give your girlfriend a gift every time you see her and every time she's sad? And it's like, yeah, there's actually like a whole thing about like love bombing and like, there's a whole thing about it.
Yeah.
A whole discourse about it.
Well, we had a story, I don't even know how long ago, forever ago, that was an aunt was like doing that with her niece and nephew or her nieces or nephews, whatever.
Yeah.
But like giving them M&Ms when they were behaving and like doing that kind of similar training. And I don't think we called her the asshole.
Interesting.
But I feel like
we're assholes then.
I think the situation is a little different because this was to limit bad behavior.
Sure. You're doing
a child.
You're doing a reward system, a positive reinforcement.
Right.
Versus
manipulating somebody to trust you.
Pavlovian responsing. Yeah.
So I definitely think they're different situations. I don't know.
But also, like, especially with men have a hard time opening up and being emotional.
Right.
Tell me top 5 favorite things about yourself.
I don't
okay.
Don't you dare ask.
Peanut M&M.
Okay. Music. I like music.
And so it makes sense that they're...
No, he said things that you like about yourself.
Oh. I'm going to need a lot more M&Ms.
So it would make sense, like, you notice your boyfriend only goes on walks. Or I'm sorry, your boyfriend only opens up to you when you're walking or like driving. So you might say like, hey, I notice you're more, you would just communicate with them, right? You would say like, hey, if you want to talk about something, we can go on a walk or we can go drive. Because a lot of times there's like studies that like men talk more when they aren't looking at people, but they're both looking the same direction. Mm-hmm. Like at a bar. It's why there's like
the fellas love it.
Yeah. But there needs to be the barrier of communication. When they're a child, the whole point of raising a kid is kind of tricking them into being good people.
Yeah.
You got to give them an incentive structure, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. It is different. It is very different. You got to just talk to the person and be like, do you feel upset because I always have M&Ms? I'm guaranteed you can be like, no, it's fucking awesome. They make my day better. People had some questions for, apparently there's a Big Bang Theory with this episode, which who gives a rat's ass?
Okay.
Bazinga.
I only watch it for the young Sheldon.
Judging you.
It's a much young Sheldon's supposed to be better.
I've seen lots of clips of that show on TikTok, and it does not seem better.
I was just trying to.
It's not a comedy.
I was just trying to appeal to people. I've never seen it.
Or is it a comedy? Isn't it?
It's supposed to be a comedy.
What?
Bazinga.
Does he say Bazinga in it, or is that like the season finale?
That's literally his catchphrase.
His dad dies, spoiler, and he's like, Bazinga.
He throws a rose on the casket. Bazinga.
He's like Batman. His dad was killed by bazingas. And so now
Batman's dad was killed by bats? Is that what you're saying?
When his parents were murdered, like bats flew over him or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't, DC heads, get the fuck out of the comments. I think that's right. And if I'm right, tell me. Get back in the comments.
And in the movie, he fell down a well filled with bats or something.
Then he broke his back. Years later.
In
a different movie.
Yeah,
Same
different movie.
Okay.
Different movie.
I didn't know if they did a flashback type situation.
Bored.
In the third movie, they
Right.
they finally did the origin. I was bored.
Okay, you're about to nail that.
On the update proper, yay. So all the people who told me I should
don't wanna
tell
talk
him what
about
I'm
him.
doing, you were right, and that's what I did. It turns out I was very wrong about him not noticing what I was doing. He apparently put 2 and 2 together pretty quickly after I started doing it. He didn't tell me he was on to me, though, because he liked it and was worried I'd get embarrassed and stop if I knew that he knew. So he talked it out and ended up not being a very big deal at all, and I'm probably going to keep having M&Ms because they're good.
Yeah, you kept using a clicker and saying "good boy." It was pretty easy to figure it out, actually.
You know, some people might be into that.
I bought you a new collar. Fucking shot collar.
Okay.
Again, some people might be into that.
That was sent in from Joe. You can say my name, Joe. I've actually never listened to any podcast ever. I just often email Reddit stories to random email addresses. Hope this one happens then up on a Reddit reading podcast. Joe.
Well, thanks, Joe.
That was
Thanks, Joe.
excellent.
Insane coincidence that you typed in judgiespod@gmail.com.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What do we got on the board? We'll read one from Sal. Happy belated birthday, Sal.
Sal.
Happy
it's your
birthday, Sal.
No fucking way.
Deleted.
Deleted, but Sal sent a screenshot. This was sent to us October 31st,
Spooky.
2023.
Wow.
Today I fricked up by eating my girlfriend's period rice sock.
Yeah. Shouldn't have done that, bud.
My girlfriend has painful periods, so for cramps, she uses a rice sock.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she puts uncooked rice in an old sock, then warms it up in the microwave to help with cramps whenever she is on her monthly. I hated that.
I
phrase.
hate it when people call it that.
I'm glad we all were upset with that.
Then maybe they left out a word. Her monthly menstruation. Is that-
No.
No, you don't need that.
How do you feel about Shark Week? Bad, right? Oh, wow. She's thinking.
It's nostalgic for me.
Okay.
It just reminds me of like my high school best friend.
Yeah. That was all the rage in high school.
Yeah.
Was talking about it being Shark Week.
Yeah.
Anywho, then she puts the sock away whenever she feels better. She has been using the same sock for a while. It's easily forgettable because it makes an appearance only once a month, then goes back into hibernation. She has never replaced the rice or the sock in a very long time.
Why would you need to?
So when we found ourselves with nothing in the pantry but packets of condiments and having to choose who ate between us and our cat, the cat obviously won. I then remembered the sock full of rice. My girlfriend flat out refused because she didn't want to eat rice that was constantly marinated in a sock. She also didn't trust that it was safe to consume, considering that it's been in there for a long time. I felt like it was perfectly fine. Rice takes a
He has
long
superpowers now.
time to expire. He's an empath. No. After I finished cooking it, she changed her mind, so we ate it with packets of sweet and sour sauce.
Dude.
This is such a struggle meal.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking throwback. It's a throwback to college. I was trying to sleep when I got terrible stomach pain and proceeded to have the worst shits of my life. It
Period
gave him a
shits.
period. Holy shit. Wow.
I'm period man.
I thought you said you were only going to do that snap when it was a woman saying something.
Well, he's period man.
So
I don't know. He's period man.
I was about to make the argument. You said man, but unfortunately, man is in the word woman.
That sucks, doesn't it?
It really fucking does.
What if half of woman is in the word man? Let's redefine it. Thank you. I'm talking, I was sweating and shivering at the same time. I spent the whole night going in and out of the toilet, but for some reason, my girlfriend was not affected. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
That's it?
Yeah.
She's already had a period. It didn't affect her.
You get $1 million, but you have to eat 17 pounds of a condiment.
17
is-
pounds?
Or no, I'm sorry, 17 gallons. It's worse.
Oh.
Maybe. It depends on the condiment, I guess. 17
I gotta
gallons.
pick the heaviest. Oh, no.
and
I
you
gotta
get
pick
$1
the
million
lightest.
bones. What condiment are you picking?
Oh.
Because here's the thing. You really got to find what a condiment is. I don't think for the sake of this argument, we can say salsa is a condiment.
Okay.
Because salsa is number one go-to.
Yeah,
For sure.
would have been the right answer.
Like,
Do you have to eat it all at once, or what's the time frame here?
You're locked in a room with 17 gallons of condiment.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then you get a million bones.
I don't think that's physically possible.
Well, I mean, there's a cot.
So you just can't come out until it's gone.
Is there a pot?
There's a cot, there's a pot,
Okay.
and someone bought the condiments. That's Eminem's new song. Peanut M&M?
It's better than the new.
You know,
Kanye
I
song.
think that was less Eminem and more Lin-Manuel.
You are his best friend, canonically.
Forgot about that.
Because I think I could do mustard. I really do. I think I could choke down 17 gallons of mustard. And I think it'd take me the better part of 2 days, but I'd do it. I love mustard. And it's 0 calories. It's easy on the hips.
Okay. Mustard is zero calories.
I come out snatched and $1 million richer.
Mustard being 0 calories doesn't make sense.
I don't think it's 0 calorie. I think it's 0 carb.
I'm pretty sure you're right. It probably depends on the mustard.
Yeah. For that, I mean, that's for sure.
But you know, it's just a spice
Blake,
and vinegar.
Can you insert the clip of whoever yelling mustard?
DJ Mustard?
Yeah.
Let's look at the back of this Heinz mustard bottle, which I would never order. Heinz is terrible.
You're a French mustard boy.
I guess so. Yeah. 0 calories.
Interesting.
But I'm guessing it's one of those things where
It's under 5.
yeah, it's under the limit. So it probably would be some. But I would burn the fuck out of I'd burn calories slopping that shit down my gullet.
Blech.
I think I could do mustard. Is there any condiment you think you do it with? I could do barbecue sauce as well, but I would come out less snatched and $1 million richer.
Yeah.
Do you get like a vessel to eat it with? Like, can I have vegetables to eat it with? Or like a hot dog for your...
Every gallon that you use a vessel with subtracts $50,000 off the top. So you could use vessels to eat all 17, but then it's only 650,000 or whatever the math would be. Less than that. It would be less than that.
God,
I just don't understand why it's so much.
17 is
17's a big number.
Yeah.
17 gallons. For all you metric heads, Google it.
like I don't even think I could drink 17 gallons of milk.
No.
I feel like milk's harder than condiments to consume.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
My condiment would be ranch.
Yeah. So you want like celery or something to put it in.
I don't need it.
1 gallon of celery wouldn't hurt.
Well, yeah. I don't know. But it's not like Hidden Valley Ranch. It's like very specific restaurant
Yeah.
homemade ranch.
Like from the dry.
There is a place in Ottawa called the Cheese Shop.
Yeah.
They have the best fucking homemade ranch ever. If you're ever in Ottawa, Illinois, for whatever reason, go to the Cheese Shop. Hidden gem for sure.
See,
What condiment?
I don't use many condiments, so like, it definitely not ketchup.
Hot sauce.
Some Cholula.
It would
Hot
come
sauce
out
might-
easy. You
yeah.
probably get the just constant stream.
My insides might melt.
They
Get
will
melted
absolutely
through.
melt.
Like I think it would be an ulcer, and then it would continue. I think I would get an ulcer at about gallon 3,
yeah.
and I think
Probably
about
quicker
gallon
than that.
6 is bursting right through it. My insides are getting filled with hot sauce at that point. It's not even my digestive tract.
Yeah, I think you might die if you did that.
I think I could do I don't think I could do mayonnaise. I think I could do mustard. I think I could do barbecue sauce. I think I could probably do ketchup. That would probably take me longer than the other two.
I don't think I could do ketchup.
I think the
Mustard
only one I
sounds
could do is
possible.
ranch.
Okay. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Maybe syrup. Bye.
Syrup is so heavy.
That's the thing, is it's so thick, but it's
Yeah.
so sweet and good to eat.
I
Honey?
drank syrup as a kid one time.
Locally sourced honey
A lot of
from
times.
17 different states. That way you get infinite allergy
I would get
protection.
rid of all my allergies.
Soy sauce.
No.
We had a whole lesson in English class in high school when we were reading To Kill a Mockingbird about why the kid put syrup on his food when
Okay.
he was at the Finch's house.
I don't think I've ever read that book. Sorry.
I haven't either. And why were the walls yellow?
That's not in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, why did he do the syrup?
Because it was during the Great Depression and he didn't have any food.
Okay.
And the syrup made everything heavier so that he felt fuller longer.
I could eat rocks better.
No.
I've never read the book. I don't know what's happening.
The book was about the Depression.
It's not about the Depression.
Well, during the Depression.
He is putting syrup in his rock soup. I don't know, dude. I didn't read the book.
It's a good book.
I'm looking at a picture of condiments right now, and it's mayo, ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce. It's pretty much like 4 condiments that Americans eat. So,
well, I cannot.
And then, yeah, there's no ranch on this list.
A Midwesterner did not write that list.
What about A1?
I do fuck with A1.
Ooh.
However, I don't think I could drink 17 gallons of
for
it.
$1 million.
No.
Boy.
How about
when I use
17
A1,
million?
I use like a quarter size.
How about you get $1 million for
liquid.
each gallon you drink?
No, I don't got that kind of money.
I'm done talking to you about this.
I can't afford that, Erica.
You think I'm made of money? I only have $1 million in the bank.
Maybe if me and Aurora had our accounts.
And here's the circle jerge of this week.
That could have been the circle jerge.
Circle jerk.
What the hell?
What's the circle jerk?
Well, that last story is they mentioned condiments, so it kind of got me on the mindset. These are foods/drinks that I think are better than they actually are.
Okay.
All right.
What a good concept.
17 gallons a month. No. So this is just foods that, and I mean, hey, I'm fat. I eat a lot. I
Yeah.
sometimes can't stop myself from eating. Maybe you'll relate.
Same.
Powdered donuts.
Dude, I love powdered donuts.
I will eyeball powdered donuts and then I'll eat them. I'm like, I'm not happy about it.
Like even the powdered donut holes.
Holes are better than donuts for
Holes
sure.
are
Yeah.
much better
I
than
think
donuts.
I would rather get shot in the head than eat a full powdered donut. I think.
Oh my God.
I think I've only had
You're-
mini pouty donny.
The smaller the powdered donut gets, the better it gets.
Okay, I could buy into that. But mini pouty donny. What do you mean? MPD.
Mini powder. Say it one more time.
Mini pouty donny.
Mini pouty donny.
Yeah. But it's just every time I look at them, I'll convince myself to eat them, and it's just like,
Yeah.
And then it's all over.
and then you got 5 more of them in the pack.
Yeah.
Or if you get the bag, because it's cheaper per donny. Next one, orange juice. I've never drank orange juice and thought I'm happy with that. I would have
really?
I would have rather had apple juice, but I'll order.
Really?
But the thing is, I'll get orange juice. I'm like, yeah, orange juice sounds refreshing, and I'll drink it. I'm just like,
Really?
yeah,
Okay. What kind of orange juice are you getting?
maximum pulp.
Okay.
All right, that's a choice.
I don't know.
Care about your fiber.
Pulpless. I don't know. I very
care about
rarely
your-
get orange juice.
I am a not from concentrate girly. If
Okay.
it's from
I can tell.
concentrate, probably
I
because
don't-
I'm glowing.
So what does
I
that
guess.
mean? Like, what's the difference?
They like concentrate the juice down to very little amounts, and then they.
So it's like way sweeter, sourer when it's concentrated.
I believe so, right?
they mix it with water. Is what I'm telling you.
Huh.
I don't understand.
So it's watered down.
Concentrate is watered down,
I think so. I could be fucking wrong. I don't know.
or is it the other? Okay.
I feel like concentrate is like they boiled all the shit out of it so they can preserve it for longer, and then you mix it with water later, right?
Okay. I'll drink an orange drink.
Fruit juice from which most of the water has been extracted.
Look at that.
That's concentrate.
That is juice concentrate.
Okay, and then they resubstitute with
Yeah.
water.
So I said the opposite of what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
thought you
was
said it-
I was a
you said
little
it right.
confused. I was like, that sounds
But
like,
like you can get like the frozen
yeah, that's what my parents used to get.
concentrate,
Oh.
and then you would mix that with water.
Yeah.
But you
Oh.
can get like actual orange juice in a jug that says from,
From
concentrate. And I don't like that.
I don't know if I only ever get orange juice like at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just cheaper
Like it
to
for
do
brunch.
from concentrate. It's like the pink slime of oranges.
Gotcha. Okay.
Have you ever had like fresh squeezed orange juice? Because
I
that
don't know.
okay, that goes insanely hard compared
Do
to.
you like oranges?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll convince myself to drink it, but every time I'm just like, It's just better than I think it's gonna be, or I think it's better than it's gonna be in reality.
I get what you're saying.
Like this next one, Twinkies.
Oh,
You get so
100%
excited to
agree.
eat a Twinkie, and then you eat it, and you're like, oh, no, I don't
And
know.
like this was mid. I understand why it was almost extinct.
Yeah.
yeah.
An entire pizza.
Okay.
Because it's like pizza's
Okay.
really good, and surely the entire thing will be really good.
And
And then you just feel bad.
yeah,
But it's
Yeah.
but beforehand you're like, oh yeah, a whole
Well,
pizza,
especially when it comes to frozen pizza,
frozen pizza, yeah.
frozen pizzas specifically,
Yeah.
because I can, without even a thought, eat 3/4 of it, and then I go,
May as well.
I may as well. And then the sight of the round cardboard bottom when you're done eating it, and you're just like, that was all me.
And it's like folding up.
Yeah, it's always curling up.
Covered in grease and crumbs.
And I just have to sit there and go, that was all me, huh?
Avocados, just in general. I'll eat anything with an avocado, and every time I'm just like, I don't know if that was worth it. Money wise, flavor profile wise, just like fine. But in my head, I'm like, this is gonna taste so good. It's got an avocado on it. Guacamole, I'm like, yeah. And then I eat it. I'm just like,
An avocado at a restaurant, I'm pumped.
yeah.
If I'm doing avocado at home, which has happened about one time,
About a single time.
it's like it was never worth the investment.
Yeah.
Every time I am disappointed.
Just one more cookie.
Mm-hmm.
One more cookie sounds great.
Yeah.
And then you
And
eat
it
it
is.
and you're like, oh, I just
No.
want one more cookie.
Man, you know what have really washed down this one more cookie is one more cookie.
One more cookie is the I'll get to it tomorrow
Yeah.
of foods.
Oh no.
Molly.
Any donut from Dunkin' Donuts that's not a blueberry cake donut.
I've never had a blueberry cake donut.
I just feel like donuts should be really good, and Dunkin' donuts are just fine.
Yeah.
But every time I convince myself to eat a Dunkin' Donut, it's like, surely this is going to be the good Dunkin' donut. A Dunky Dinky Dunk. And then I eat it. I'm just like, that wasn't worth it. Let me get one more.
I can't tell if I've just become an adult and lost the wonder in my life. I feel this way about all donuts now.
Dude, speaking of places in Ottawa, Steve's Bakery in Ottawa makes the best donuts you
Do
will
they?
ever have.
And now I have to immediately retract this. Today I had the first good donut I've had in years.
Yeah. From where?
I have no idea. I was working at a hospital and the maintenance department's like, oh, my wife bought us donuts, but she bought 3 boxes and there's only 4 of us. So take one. I was like, okay. And it was like, whoa,
Was it
this
near
is what a
Ottawa?
donut's supposed to be like. It was from, no, it was
Okay.
up north. It was like from like Elgin or something.
Oh.
I still dream about the donuts we had in North Carolina.
Those are good donuts.
There's donuts
Duck
in
donuts.
I don't know if it's a chain or if it's just in one city in Mississippi. I don't know. It's called Shipley's Donuts. And every time we go down to Mississippi, we'll get there, and theirs are pretty good too. Diet root beer. Every time I'm like, I'll get some root beer and I'll just make a diet. And then you drink it and you're like, boy, this is the worst one of the diets.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Just get the full strength Rudy Beauty.
Yeah.
I will never call root beer anything but a Rudy Beauty.
And lastly, food/drinks that I think are better than they actually are. Leave some in the comments below of foods that you think are super great, and then you eat them and you're like, it wasn't worth it. Pop-Tarts.
What kind of Pop-Tart?
I think the only one that I've never been upset with is is it just cinnamon? Is it just
Cinnamon brown sugar?
Yeah.
You fucking
Oh,
freak.
give me a cinnamon brown sugar any day of the week
You
because
Are you
listen.
toasting it?
freak.
No, I don't toast my Pop-Tarts.
Oh my
But
god.
I wasn't gonna ask how you prepare 'em.
Josh, wait a minute.
I agree with you, Josh.
Because my expectations for the cinnamon brown sugar is not heightened. They
Okay.
always meet expectations, but every other
You
Pop-Tart,
had such a low bar set.
every
You're like,
other
okay.
Pop-Tart, I'm like, this is gonna be so good, and then I eat it, and I'm like, I have to eat 2 of these things.
I've never had a good cooked Pop-Tart in my life.
Wrong.
No.
Wrong. Pop-Tarts are better toasted.
The edges get burnt every time before the
then
middle
you're
even
cooking it wrong.
the middle doesn't even get fucking warm before
You're
the
doing
edges
it
are burnt.
wrong. Your toaster's broken.
I don't dislike a warm Pop-Tart, but it's the same reason why I never warm up my leftovers. I just don't want to put in the work. I'd rather just eat cold leftovers, room temp Pop-Tart. Poopy toopy.
I like room temp Pop-Tarts.
RTPT, this is, what I call them.
You did name my least favorite Pop-Tart, so that's
cinnamon brown sugar.
Yeah.
Well, right now downstairs at Walmart, they had this is the first time ever the clearance. Well, there's like very rarely the clearance section of the food part of Walmart will have like just banger deals, and I could buy a box of 4 packs of Pop-Tart Poopy Toopies.
Shut up.
And it was $1 for a box of 4 packs.
That's pretty crazy.
And so I bought 2 of them because it's like this is like I can't not.
Sure.
And these are from like January. Like they were gonna expire.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. They're apple turnover.
Pop-Tarts expire?
No, it's Pop-Tart from concentrate, actually. You have to put them in the toaster.
My parents used to lie to me and say that Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels are the same thing because they don't want to spend the extra money.
Wrong. I just bought toaster strudels.
I don't really like toaster strudels.
What? The fucking epiphany I had with the first time I had a toaster strudel, I was like, you said these are the same things?
They are not the same.
I think I don't really like fruit a ton, like fresh berries a ton, and to me it's fresher. And also the level of work you got to put into it.
Work is
I
more.
have to put my own icing on.
The fact that I have to like manually squeeze my icing around to try to melt it enough because it's frozen. It's pretty much frozen solid, so then I have to do this shit to my icing to get it warmed up.
I've never had to do that.
Yeah.
You put your frozen, how do you get the frozen icing onto it?
They're not frozen solid.
Do you put them in the freezer?
Yes.
Okay. I was just asking.
The icing isn't frozen solid.
How you getting a good glaze on that bad boy?
I cut the tiniest little hole at the very, very tip. And then it squeezes it out just right.
This is a listener-submitted sound. If you want to send a listener-submitted sound or a listener-submitted story, which always comes after the listener-submitted sound, head on over to judgiespod@gmail.com and send it in and put it in the subject line. This is from 2/8/2022. Went deep in the anals for this one. Listener-submitted sound through Gmail. The G stands for Google, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Stands for Greg, actually.
Greg Mail. Whatever happened to Greg from Google? You know, you had Tom from MySpace.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
And then Greg from Google.
Jeeves, Mass Jeeves. That one's kind of in the name.
That one's self-explanatory. Ya from Yahoo. From Outcast.
The Judgies.
Thank you for that, Josh. Appreciate it. And that always comes before our listeners submitted. That was an unpleasant noise in the ears. Blake, put that bass boomed, please.
Was that me or you?
It was from me unplugging it this week.
I unplugged at this same moment you did, and I was like, I swear it never makes that noise.
This is a listener submissive one. Listener submissive on.
Okay.
You're reading what they wrote.
Yeah, it's submission, but with VE after the I. So it's submissive on. Hi, Judgies. You can say my name. It's Izzy.
Hello, Izzy.
Long-time listener of the podcast. Love you all, but Ricky is my fave. Can you blame me? I can, but that's not going to make people happy with me. I have the ability to.
I'm so fragile right now, Joshua.
You always are, Erica.
True.
This side up, am I right?
Fragile.
This box. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to
That's a good
episode 228. Erica gets targeted, really. In which you guys discussed meeting people on Snapchat.
Ew.
Which reminded, I think it was a story we read.
Oh.
Which reminded me of the person I met on Snapchat and the odd years that followed. Other names in the story are changed because I don't know their vibes on the events. Back when I was a teenager, 16 or so, and I added people from one of those websites where you put in your Snapchat username for complete random people to add you. Because I was from a small town and stranger danger didn't exist in my teenage mind. Parentheses, do not recommend. Huh?
This is crazy because I feel like this kind of shit happened like when I was a kid. Not 16. I feel like when I was like 12 and on Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking group chats.
Like what chat rooms are you in?
Yeah. And that's
fair.
like becoming friends with fucking strangers.
There's a Pen 15 episode. Pen 13's the prequel series.
That sounds much worse though, doing Snapchat. It sounds much worse than a chat room on Yahoo Messenger.
There's a Pen 15 episode about that. Anyway, I added and talked to a guy on there on a pretty regular basis. This dude we'll call Nick. We got pretty friendly, and eventually things got sort of flirty. We would send NSFW pictures and things, thank God he didn't have a job, from time to time, but also just talked in general. He lived in the Midwest, and I lived on the East Coast, so it was far enough to never seem real, if that makes sense. A friend of mine I've known since the first grade, Kevin, would sometimes take my phone when we were on band competition trips, and we would Snapchat Nick together. At some point, Kevin gave Nick his Snap as well, and they were chatting each other too. Eventually, I start to notice a pattern of him snapping me a decent amount during the day. No biggie, right? I mean, there is a 1 hour time difference. Means nothing? Except Nick didn't really seem to be in school when he was messaging me during the day like I was. But Nick said he was 17. A random internet stranger that I've been chatting with and sharing pictures with wouldn't lie to me, right? Wrong.
Uh-oh.
With this emoji. Man standing emoji. Or I guess.
Person standing?
Person standing. Yeah. Gender withheld. Sorry, folks. Emojis went woke. My 16-year-old brain deduced that he maybe wasn't really the age he said he was shocked. Said he was. Shocked, right? So I asked him about it, and he admitted that he was, in fact, 20, maybe 21. I don't really remember his exact age at this point. And in college. Smiley face. So she's 16, and he's 21. But did that stop little old me or Kevin from continuing to talk to this man?
No, because you guys are so mature for your age.
Nope, we didn't need to talk, but like I said, it wasn't really real. Just a silly guy in a phone, not a real person that exists or that I would meet in real life.
Right.
Or so I thought. As time went on, Nick and I fell off talking. We were still friends on Snapchat, but
Wait, I thought it was Kevin.
Kevin's her real life friend.
Okay.
So as time went on, Nick and her fell off talking. We were still friends on Snapchat, but we weren't super close anymore.
Okay.
I got married at 18, fresh out of high school.
Ooh.
He was in the Air Force.
Ooh.
You have anything to say about that?
I mean, typical. I mean, what?
Cue the ooze, and that checks out.
Oh, okay.
All right. And we moved to Colorado. Don't worry, we are divorced now, and I have so many other wild tales about that for later. We lived in Colorado for about a year when my friend Kevin hit me up saying he was going to move halfway across the country to Colorado. I was so excited as I had some friends, but I'm not super social, so having Kevin live near me would be amazing. But how is Kevin moving across country all by himself? Turns out he isn't. He's going to room with, you guessed it, Nick. Turns out they had been in contact those years and were good friends. They were even sending flirty NSFW pictures to each other.
Okay.
So imagine our surprise when Kevin flies in. I pick him up from the airport to meet Nick for the first time ever for both of us.
Kevin or by King.
And his U-Haul at their new apartment to be also met with his girlfriend.
Nick's girlfriend.
Kevin's girlfriend.
Kevin is the friend.
That's hang on. So to recap, Nick and Kevin had been flirty. Nick was moving to Colorado, asked Kevin if he wanted to be roommates. Kevin thought they had a romantic fling going, nothing serious, but something for sure. Didn't tell Kevin that whole time he had a girlfriend, so Nick's girlfriend.
Okay.
And that she would also be living with them, and they would all three be roommates.
And they were roommates.
It was a pretty wild year or so that they lived together. As far as we know, the girlfriend was never aware of anything. I would visit sometimes to hang, and their apartment had a pool, which was nice. It is nice. And Nick was always super nice to me, and his girlfriend always gave me the cold shoulder. Eventually, Nick moved back to his home state and married a completely different girl. Marines. I moved back to my home state, and I'm now engaged to the best man I've ever met, and Kevin is still kicking it out even further west with roommates he met while living in Colorado. I guess all this really could have turned out worse.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you for reading if you did, and keep up to good potting. Hugs and pisses, Izzy. That's about the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Truly is.
As a minor texting illicitly with an adult.
Mm-hmm.
He should be in jail.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty crazy that you're like,
Yes.
no, he's still cool. He was in his 20s sexting a minor, but he was pretty cool about it.
Yeah, but he had chill vibes.
He had chill vibes.
He was emotionally younger.
He
Yeah,
was
that's also a problem.
He wasn't mature for his age.
no, he acted like a 16-year-old. He was really cool about it.
And this last little story of the night for now, because we have a whole other bonus hour of stories of listener submissions only over on patreon.com/judgiespod.
Ooh.
Weekly bonus episode.
was sent in from the one, the only Salatar. Ever heard of her?
Yes, of course.
R/Am I the devil?
I liked the way you said that.
Am I the devil? My 8-year-old, am I the asshole for telling my son that he should wear his sister's old coat to school?
How cool of a coat is it? How lame of a coat is it?
My 8-year-old son, we'll call him Ryan, has always been a bit careless. He routinely leaves stuff at his friends' houses, forgets to do certain steps on tests, and flat out loses his possessions.
I think he has ADHD.
I think he has 8 DHD because he's 8. My wife and I were concerned enough about this to speak to his physician, but he insisted that Ryan is simply a kid and is going to be prone to carelessness from time to time. However, earlier today, Ryan came home without his coat on.
That happens.
We live in the northern United States, so it's quite cold in January. So you can understand why I was embarrassed when he walked back to our house with the other children from the bus stop. He greeted me with a smile, but I frowned and asked him what he had done with his coat. He looked down at the floor in shame and said that he had misplaced it at school and decided to just come home without it rather than taking the time to search for it and potentially miss the bus. Which that's a real lose-lose situation.
True.
Sure.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. His mother and I had spent good money for his new coat since his old one was quite worn and had just given it to him for Christmas. Now, here we were a month later and it's gone. I punished him immediately, telling him to go to his room. He seemed very sulky, but he ultimately complied and closed his bedroom door behind him. I was still angry about the whole thing, but then I got an idea. Ryan's older sister, who we'll call Katie, still had some of her old coats in a box down in our basement. I went down to the basement and pulled out an old coat of hers. It had flowers on it and was pink. I laughed to myself, went back upstairs and knocked on Ryan's door. I told him, since you clearly have no respect for other people's money, guess what you'll be wearing to school tomorrow? I showed him Katie's flower coat and he just about fell off his bed. In fact, I think he might have started tearing up.
He probably did. He's a kid. He's a child.
He kept saying over and over again, "Oh no, Dad, I can't wear that." But I reminded him that it was his decision to waste our money and lose his jacket. So this was the consequence of choosing to be careless. He had a full-scale meltdown at this point, which I found quite humorous. Ugh. The idea that he would get to have it both ways, lose his coat and have us buy him a new one, was simply ludicrous to me. And the public humiliation of him wearing such a coat in front of all of his friends would no doubt make him behave in a more careful way next time. Well, at this point, my wife walked in the door, and I had my son tell her everything. She immediately asked to speak to me in private, and boy, did I get an earful. She told me that what I had done was cruel and that Ryan couldn't wear Katie's old coat to school because it would be humiliating. I asked, why not? He's already humiliated us.
Dude, you're pathetic.
Now my wife won't speak to me. I keep trying to get her to see my point, but she just refuses to do so. I just wish she could understand. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yeah. He's literally a child.
Why men, first of all?
Correct.
Why are you trying to own an 8-year-old?
Literally.
Yeah. Are you that mentally insecure?
Yeah.
That you have to get a one-up on your child?
Also, here's the crazy thing. He's going to school tomorrow.
He can literally look for it tomorrow.
Go look in the lost and found.
Yeah.
In 24 hours.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Let him wear a sweatshirt for a day.
Or maybe get him a new coat, but then make him go work in the mines for a couple months to pay it off.
There we go. Now we're talking.
The kids yearn for it.
He's yearning for it.
You know? Like my parents did to me.
And the fact that you're like giggling.
Insane.
Yeah, you think
giggling
it's
at
funny?
the idea of him being embarrassed and bullied and miserable.
Oh, I can't wait to humiliate my son.
Like,
I can't wait to make a
up.
core
Who's the child
memory.
here?
Give him a peanut M&M at least.
You know what he's going to learn from this situation? That his dad doesn't love him.
His dad sucks.
Yeah.
Also, just the latent, obviously it's not the major part of the story, but the latent, playing into the, boys don't wear pink. And,
Yeah.
The latent, sexism tied into that is just so, dude, come on.
Yeah. I mean, drop the location. I'll fight you for your son.
He can come stay with us.
Oh, no, he can't, but I will show him that his dad sucks.
can go beat up his dad.
Yeah, I'll go beat up his dad.
It also breaks my heart that he's coming home from school with a smile on his face, excited to see you after a long day, and you frown and scold him immediately.
Yes.
Like, how heartbreaking.
I did, Chris, you might want to take back your comment because I was going to make up a name, but his name is Fearless Mule. That's the
Dude, he
Reddit
sounds
name.
tough as hell.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're gonna have to start really training.
yeah, literally, I don't just fucking ask him what happened to his coat and have a conversation of like, okay, like you made a tough decision. Let's figure out, can we call the school? I'm sure there's potentially still a worker there. Go to the Lost and Found in the morning.
You're just gonna have to wear an extra sweatshirt tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then make sure you get your coat.
or like
You tell him that he's actually, I'll actually take the girl jacket, Dad.
I'll humiliate myself to make sure that I make you proud, Father.
I saw what they did to Arthur yesterday when he wore 2 sweatshirts. All right, I can't let that happen to me.
Sounded like Patrick Warburton.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, but
Huh?
I'm no butting you.
Let's hear your Patrick.
The poison.
Okay.
The poison for Cusco.
You're not far off. You need more confidence.
My therapist has been telling me that.
The dad could have given him a coat that's not the one as well.
Yep.
Implied that there's multiple coats. You intentionally picked the one that was the worst looking. You know what I mean?
That was so good.
It's insane. Why have kids if you hate them?
Yeah.
Correct.
Whatever happened to what's that song? How's that go? Whatever happened to the paper door? Is that Full House?
Sure.
Whatever happened. I can't say that phrase. What happened to people wanting to make their kids better than they were growing up? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This had to have been your dad treated you like a fucking asshole, and now you're like, now it's my turn. Like whatever happened to just treating your kid with respect?
Yeah.
The milkman.
Hey, he's got to earn it.
Paper boy.
My kid's got to earn my respect, okay?
Yeah. 8 years on this earth. I put a roof over your head. Let me tell you, sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Not to rag on my own parents too much. The words, we paid good money for that, rang in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times my parents said that to me.
I mean,
we paid good money for that. And it's like, I'm a kid. I don't know what that means.
And
compared to bad
money?
What does that mean?
I think he's a Latin artist.
I do get that as a parent. I do understand being like, you don't understand, like, this does cost money. There are like consequences that you aren't seeing behind your actions. But it is like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop the line at some point.
Well, I use it on Molly. She just looks at me like a dope though.
There's a trend on TikTok that is adults that, those sayings from when we were kids, like, oh, I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Or that's the only example I can think of off the top of my head. But these parents are saying these phrases, but leaving the ending blank and seeing what their kids would fill in the blank.
Okay.
And none of the kids in this challenge, can finish the sentence.
So they would say, like, I'll give you
soft.
something to blank.
Yeah, and most kids will be like, something to eat
Oh, to be a child and
with a loving parent.
Yeah. And just like optimism.
Yeah.
They don't default to like, I'll give you something to really, really fucking mourn over.
Yeah.
I'll give you something to talk to your therapist about in 15 years.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Hey, that's all we got on the main episode. Patreon.com/JudgiesPod. $1 gets you ad free. Who likes ads? Not me.
I mean, I do because they pay us.
Yeah, but it'd be cool if we didn't. It'd be cooler if everyone just paid us $1 a month. And you get ad-free episodes and access to the Discord, which, might I say, is fun. And also, if you pay to be in the Discord and then at any point have to rescind your Patreon subscription, which I totally understand, of course, you could stay in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Sometimes we'll get messages of people being like, "Hey, just re-up my subscription, so I'm back in Discord." You can just stay in there. Once you're in, you're in.
We're not policing you on it.
Well, yeah, not yet.
Once the economy takes a shit, then we're really gonna.
$5 gets you monthly bonus episodes, and $10 gets you weekly bonus episodes. And that's the thing is you can sign up, get all of the backlog, download them all, and then not sign up again, and then sign up.
How are we going to tell? You know?
That's part of the features, you know? Anywho, Erica, where else can they find us?
Anywhere that you're on the internet, we're probably there too. And our handle's at Judgies Pod, JUDGIESPOD. That's X, Instagram.
Ew. What?
I know. Twitter. I don't know. Blue Sky. What's the other one?
I don't know. You really pissed me off.
Lemonade.
Lettered box.
We are not on Lemonade.
No?
No, we're on Red Note, but I don't post there. Were you thinking of Threads?
Threads. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Do you lemonade? Lemonade?
I've just never considered it as a possibility.
Fair enough. Love you.
I hear that it's the new
fuckers.
Pinterest, but it's not the same.
You hear the Pinterest drama?
Yeah, I have.
About like AI.
Depressed about
Yeah,
it.
and people are getting perma-banned.
Anyway, the Judgies love you. Goodbye.
Bye.